Here we are then for round number 2 at Redlodge, 25th of April in the fine spring summer weather. And our venue for this round is the brilliant Redlodge Circuit. We are just over the Cambridgeshire Suffolk border, not too far from Mildenhall and the famous American Air Base. 1200 metre circuit, 11 turns, quite a technical track and very flat as well, not much elevation, so it's flat and very twisty in places. We have some perfect spring weather here, sunny forecast throughout the day, no rain forecast in the meteorological forecast, about 14 degrees and a light breeze. You would say this is pretty much perfect conditions for racing. Here we go then with Group A for the mini bike 160, and as the riders make their way out for the warm-up lap, let's have a look at how they line up for some great riders in the field for the Group A. Sponsored of course by Pit Bike Spares. Riders taking their way out onto the track now for their sighting lap back to the grid for their first moto of the day, which should be underway very shortly in that one. And here's how they line up. Of course, plenty of familiar names at the front of the field. Jim Lovell qualifying fastest on a 43.4 on the button. Reece Stevenson second from Ryan Tyres. Billy Pearson fourth. Ben Lord and Chase Collymore rounding out the top 6. Many of the top names all in there. Mick Lord in 7th. Ben Clucas 8th. Chloe Jones 9th. Joe Woodward rounding out the top 10 from Matt Davis and Ed Peed in 12th. 13th position for Ryan Clark. Further back in 15th from Carl Sanders, Sebastian Barron, Connor Watt and Matt Lockyer lining up in 18th position. Dan Merrin 19th from Ben Ray, Matthew Wood, Rob Shearer 22nd, Shane Hopkins and Daniel Pearson 24th place. Joe Milnes 25th, Jake Marsh, Chris Edwards, Darren Hall in 28th position, Louis Smith in 29th, Will Loader rounding out the top 30. And the last rider on the grid, no time given, Scott McGibbon in 31st place. Yet again a big group of riders, a technical first part of the lap and a start which will be very important with some very competitive riders all qualifying well at the front of the field for this mini bike 160 Group A, brought to you in association with Pit Bike Spares. Round number 2 of the Rich Energy British Mini Bikes Championship riders. Looks like we're about ready to go. Machines ready, riders ready, and our first moto of the day for the group about to get underway. But there is one rider in trouble. That's the 51 of Phil Dickens on the infield. Or was that Chloe Jones? Well, in any case, the rider back to the pits to make some emergency repairs. The race will go on. Green flag goes up, and we wait for race number 1 to get underway. The flag is about to drop and away we go. Oh, trouble on the line there for, I think it might have been Jamie Callan. It's competitive into the first corner. They charge through into French corner, into centre. Look how tight it gets there as the riders bunch up. Good start, very important. Because as the rest of the riders are scrapping for a position, everyone else gets away. We've got one rider down at the back of the field. I think there was the 67 that went down, Mark Goff. A couple of riders caught up in the melee, but nothing serious. Riders now onto the straight run into S's for the first time. Look at the speed they carry into S's. Some of the faster riders in the mini bike groups in the 160s. You can tell the speed difference there, just how much quicker they are into that top corner. Very competitive first pass of the lap. Nothing too serious at the back of the field. Everyone else back underway with the race, and we'll look at the riders on the end of the first lap as they line their way through. Oh, down the inside though goes the 110 of Matthew Davis, going for the lead, and great little block pass there. Looks like Ryan Tyres is going to try and fight back, but there is the number 12 of Andrew Thompson. Those three having a really close battle. Now this could be encouraging for the riders in 4th, 5th position to try and close up with those leaders. As you can see, it's all very competitive, but Matthew Davis, your new race leader. Ryan Tyres right on his tail. Tyres just trying to go a little bit wide into S's, down the inside. He went to square the turn off there, but doesn't quite come off. Davis parking that bike on the apex, making Tyres do all the work here. Of course, Andrew Thompson still in there in 3rd place, number 12. having a look now as they go towards Paddock Bend. Daniel Pearson and Jake Whittaker just a bit further back with Chase Collymore. Dougie Craven in there too. Matthew Davis defensive there going into the centre corner. Nothing at all between those three riders. And here comes Tyes on the exit. Nice move on the exit to the corner now. Should have the line going up towards the Warren and a long straight run. And it looks like Ryan Tyes has done it. Number 55, your new race leader. Davis down second, number 12 in third. So according to our timing sheets, that should be Luke Hedger. Oh, but trouble there for Matthew Davis. Small mistake there, and off he goes. That's a shame for him because he started the race so well. And Matthew Davis, well, he's got the bike going again. Still close at the front as we look at the rest of the top 10. That means that Whittaker's up to third place. Daniel Pearson and Chase Collymore in there having a look. There's Pearson, number 77. Looks like Collymore having a peek down the inside. No real opportunity for a pass though at the moment. Try and line him up for the second part of the lap. So there's the number 19 of Andrew Thompson. So Luke Hedger, it looks like picking up must have missed the timing loop on the first lap, battling for the lead. As we focus on the battle of the third place, Andrew Thompson, second on your timing sheets. Third on the track with the 1-2-1 of Jake Whittaker just behind. Then we've got Pearson, Collymore and Craven all in there. Here they come through to Paddock Bend. Again, the riders can straight line the apex going to that final corner. And Whittaker holding grimly on to that position. He's got 4 riders behind him. And again, the exit speed could be important here. As we look at the 74 very briefly of Dougie Craven. Into the Warren, the left-hander, and along the straight run they go. This could be a crucial overtaking part of the track. That looks like Chase Collymore. Going down the inside, holds the line and gets the position. So Collymore gets through, getting past Thompson. Pearson and Craven right behind. The riders now making their way along the Simpson Straight, back down towards the final couple of corners of the Paddock Bend to the finish line. Still Ryan Tyes leading the race, 48.2, your fastest lap of the race at the front. Chase Collymore on the move, nice move down through French corner into centre, that really tight left-hander. And it looks like Chase Collymore's done it. There he goes, 31. One of the rising stars in British minibike racing, and Chase Collymore. Of course, a few years ago, he was one of the top youth riders. Now, acquitting himself, still a very young rider, you would say, but acquitting himself very well to the adult ranks against some very experienced names. Whittaker trying to fight back, but all the attention now is with Thompson behind him, number 17. We've got Daniel Pearson and Dougie Craven still in there. And look at those on the edge of the top 10. We've got Phil Dickens, Matthew Davis. So that's Phil Dickens in the race there, making his way through the midfield. So one can only presume that rider hitting trouble at the start of the first race was Chloe Jones. And that's a shame, of course, for Chloe Jones, who was one of the top riders in the series last year. Not the best start for 2021 that she would have wanted. The race goes on, of course, with 4 laps to go. Ryan Tyes increasing his gap now. Chase Collymore still showing a second on the timing screens. There is Phil Dickens, number 51. Well, look out for Phil Dickens, though, because he's slowly making his way through the field. Matthew Davis has got through. There's Davis recovering from that earlier spill. Nice move into Esses, but he's not going to get down the inside. Jamie Callan, number 14, just holding the line. Matthew Davis, though, gets the move done down Simpson Straight, making his way down towards the finish. There he goes. So Davis now to 7th place, 3 laps to go. Ryan Tyes continues to control the race at the front as we watch this battle in the top 10. And Davis, after that spill earlier on, is making his way through the field quite nicely now. He's on the tail, looks like a Pearson. There we see just the update on the timing screen. So it must have been a fault there at the start for Luke Hedger, who's in 2nd place. Starting to close up again on Ryan Tyes. Still a close battle of a 3rd. Davis having a look at Thompson, number 19, and Andrew Thompson holding the line through into Esses. Oh, Davis having a look down the inside, couldn't quite get through. The fight goes on. Davis recovering well after that trouble at the start of the race. 2 more laps to go. Still Ryan Tyers leading by 1 second from Luke Hedger. Chase Collymore pulling away slightly in third, but not by very much because he's dragging Jake Whittaker along with him. Here we see this battle still raging throughout the top 10. They make their way through the Warren and back onto the straight run. Top of the circuit now, we look at the 77 of Pearson. Holding that apex on the inside. He's going to compromise himself here, possibly on the exit of the corner, because number 19, quicker exit there, chops across the front of Davis. Thompson having a look now, going down into the paddock bend. Can't quite get through. 1 more lap to go. Ryan Tyers pulling away at the front from Luke Hedger, but still this battle rages. Oh, and again down the inside. Trying to have a look there was Thompson on Pearson. Matthew Davis still in there as well, the number 110. Charlie Hopkins and Ryan Clark all very close. Oh, and a bit of trouble there in the midfield. One rider going down. Doesn't look like to be anything serious. Jake Whittaker holding on to that 4th place. Chase Collymore with Craven right on his tail here. Tyers making his way down towards the final corner, crosses the line as the race winner. So Ryan Tyers is your winner. Luke Hedger across in 2nd place. Who's it going to be though? Chase Collymore or Jake Whittaker for 3rd place? Very close indeed, and Collymore just about holds on from Craven. Whittaker 5th. Pearson in 6th place from Davis. Be Charlie Hopkins in 8th, Ryan Clark in 9th, and Jamie Callan running up the top 10 in that very close battle. I think that rider that went down on the last lap may have been Carl Sanders possibly, or Andrew Thompson, who recovers to 11th. And as Luke Hedger celebrates with a wheelie down the straight run, Ryan Tyers takes first blood in this very competitive Pit Bike Spares Mini Bike 160 Group A event, and as always incredibly competitive. We'll move on to our Mini GP and Junior Supermoto machines in just a moment. As Phil Dickens, that looks like, pushing his bike back to the pits. He'll be credited as 20th place. But in association with Ugly & Co, Mini GP and Junior Supermoto 140 and the 50s coming up in just a few moments. Round number 2 of the Rich Energy British Mini Bikes Championship here at Redlodge, and we're about to get things underway with the Pit Bike Spares 160 Group A. Leading the riders out will be Ryan Tyers from Luke Hedger, Chase Collymore 3rd, Dougie Craven 4th, Jake Whittaker and Daniel Pearson. Matthew Davis 7th from Charlie Hopkins, Ryan Clark, Jamie Callan, Andrew Thompson and Joe Woodward. 13th position for Andrew Jones from Alan Brooks, Ty Butler, Dean Widdowson, Oliver Linsdale a bit further back in 18th, just behind the unidentified rider. Carl Sanders 19th from Phil Dickens, Mark Goff and Ross Richards 22nd. Nathan Gardner 23rd, Chloe Jones, who DNF'd the first race in 24th, and another DNF was Dervin Allain, who will start the race at the back of the field. So riders making their way around on the sighting lap. The track, you would say, very similar to how it was in Moto number 1. There's not that much difference in the weather. As we say, it's just over 10 degrees this afternoon. Little or no chance of rain, so it's fairly cool out there. The bike's certainly set up more for a cool weather setting, you would say, and track temperature a little bit low. The riders just, you can see, just weaving about on the back straight there just to get some temperature into the tyres. You've seen a few of the tyre coolers out and just looking to get everything warmed up before this race gets underway. So all the big names in there, of course, in this class, the Group A riders. As we'll see later on in the year, we'll be moving, of course, to the finale at Wilton Mill right at the end of October. Still a long way to go in this championship, but as they always say in both two-wheel and four-wheel motorsport, really, you can't win the championship at the first round, but you can certainly go a long way towards losing it. So for these riders, it's just a case of getting through the event without any incidents or DNFs if they can, so they haven't got the catch-up game. I just saw Chloe Jones at the back of the field. Looks like she's on a borrowed machine. She had some mechanical issues in the first race, so has been able to source a replacement by the looks of things, and she'll be able to take part with a bit of catching up to do, of course. Last few riders on the line. It looks like we are about ready to go. Our eyes on the officials down at the front here. Riders pretty much ready. I think there is a issue in the midfield, but we should be about ready to go. So the green flag goes up. We are about to get racing with the pit bike parts. Mini bike 160 Group A get underway. You can see just how technical that start is. It's a curved grid. And into the first corner they go. Ryan Tyres with a great start there. Luke Hedger and Chase Collymore all in there as they charge into the first corner. Oh, and it's tight there. They all just about get through. A bit of banging and buffing in the midfield. But Ryan Tyres with a fantastic start there. Gets the jump on the field and takes the early lead. They make their way through up to the top corner. Shout out to Mark Goff in this race. He's got his Instagram address on the YouTube channel if you want to check out his details. Into the S's they go for the first time. Ryan Tyres trying to pull away from the field. He had that great start, jumped to the front, ran the outside. Down they go, the Simpson Straight in towards Paddock Bend, and the leaders make their way through for the first time. Ryan Tyres your leader, Luke Hedger in second place, Dougie Craven third. Bad starts for Chase Collymore and Matthew Davis. They drop a few positions. The 1-2-1 of Jake Whittaker's moved up. There he is, right behind the 77 of Daniel Pearson. So a good start there for Jake Whittaker. Chase Collymore just behind him. He had a bad start there, lost a few positions on that first lap. Now trying to fight back. He's got the 110 of Matthew Davis just behind him. And Collymore down the inside into the S's. And another one going for that move. He's going to make it stick. Collymore's through. So Chase Collymore up to 5th place now. We saw in Group B there, that inside line into the S's. It's difficult to make that pass stick. Chase Collymore did it and immediately gets down the inside of Daniel Pearson. So look out for the 31 here. Chase Collymore recovering from that bad start to the race, but he's already back up to 4th place. He's undone the damage from the start, and he's back pretty much where he started now. Now he's trying to catch up with the leaders. Luke Hedger's gone through into the lead, number 12, as they make their way through down to the back straight. The leaders have just gone through. There's the 74 in third, Dougie Craven will pick the leading group up, and they make their way towards the S's corner. Luke Hedger leading just ahead of Ryan Tyres as the midfield runners make their way through the Warren. Down the back straight they go. There's the Widowson, number 6 from Carl Sanders, Andrew Jones, Ross Richards, Chloe Jones making her way through after starting from the back. Here are the leaders though, round the final corner. Luke Hedger, your race leader. Ryan Tyres back on it though. Hedger guards the inside line. Tyres goes for the outside sweep, although he won't get through on the exit, so they go back down to 180. Third and fourth very close behind as well. Chase Collymore starting to catch up. Dean Craven, number 74 in third. They make their way down to 180. The leaders through the Warren and onto the back straight. Ryan Tyres right on the rear wheel of Luke Hedger as they make their way through into the left-hander. Hedger guards that inside line. Ryan Tyres is going to have to pull something out of the bag here. It's a very closely fought race here. No quarter given from Hedger at the front. Let's see what Ryan Tyres can do in second. Both these riders running a very fast pace at the moment. Hedger with the fastest lap of the race. Ryan Tyres with an almost identical lap time in second. They're really pushing each other along here, first and second. They're pulling away now from Dougie Craven in third, who's 5.5 seconds adrift as Tyres has a look on the exit of 180. Nice move there from Ryan Tyres, and he's made the move stick. So yet again there we see exit speed, very important. But Tyres, I think, well, he just waved Hedger through, so I don't know what that was for. Well, I can only imagine perhaps that Ryan Tyres felt that was an unfair pass that he made to get through. But for whatever the reason, Tyres has waved the leader back through, so Luke Hedger retakes the lead, and Tyres will have to fight again. Oh, but Hedger just caught the back wheel on the final corner. Got a wheel on the dirt, almost lost the lead as Tyres has a look down the inside. 7 seconds the gap as Chase Collymore is now in third place, but 7 seconds adrift. Such is the pace of these two leaders. They're really pushing each other on. That's where Ryan Tyers made the move last time. And of course, waved the leader by on the straight run, but Tyers is fighting back. Weaving over the back wheel of Hedger there, trying to find an opening. Can't get away through. Luke Hedger holding on to the lead through the S's. Tyers goes wide. He's going to try and get him on the exit here. Needs to cut across now. Get the inside line down Simpson Straight, going down towards Paddock Bend. They're side by side into the final corner, but Hedger holds on. 4 laps to go next time round. Collymore still third, Craven fourth as Tyers goes down the inside into the first corner. Looking across at Hedger there. Looks to be really having a close race as Tyers fights again down into 180. Hedger has the line covered. Tyers tries to go. Oh, but Hedger just lost the back end momentarily there. We just saw him struggling for traction. And that has allowed Ryan Tyers back through into the lead. Just the smallest of mistakes there from Luke Hedger. The back end just getting away from him only for a split second. That's all it needed for Tyers to get him on the exit. And Ryan Tyers trying to pull away now. The back end of that machine of Luke Hedger looked a little bit loose there. Really struggling with the tyre pressure, or he's definitely struggling out of the corners. Ryan Tyers pulling away now, fastest lap of the race, 47.649. And that was a bad lap there from Luke Hedger, 48.5. And he's gone down. Hedger's gone down in second. I'm only speculating here, but I think there may be something wrong with that machine with the back end. He's really struggling to control that bike as Chase Collymore tries to nip through into second place. So Ryan Tyers all on his own at the front. Chase Collymore just about nipped through into second place. So let's see if Luke Hedger can fight back. Collymore really recovering well as Craven goes down the inside of Hedger. Hedger goes round the outside, but Craven tries to go down the inside line. Collymore knows that Hedger's there. Down the back straight they go. Hedger's got a nice run out of the corner, but not enough to get past Collymore in second. Ryan Tyers still the race leader, fastest lap of the race, 47.192, all on his own. As the battle rages for second, Chase Collymore makes himself big down the straight. Hedger down the inside though into Senna, and a nice move there from Hedger, getting back into second place. So Hedger second, Collymore third, Craven fourth. Hedger recovering from that mistake, and before he went down he just seemed to be really struggling on that previous lap. So whatever the issue is, he seems to have recovered his form a bit now, but Collymore's not giving this one up. Ryan Tyers all on his own at the front with 2 laps to go as we watch the previous leader Luke Hedger battling back now. Starts to pull a small gap ahead of Chase Collymore. Luke Hedger here in second. Dougie Craven hanging on in there in 4th place on the 74. Jake Whittaker and Daniel Pearson a bit further behind. Matthew Davis, Charlie Hopkins, Ryan Clark and Jamie Callan running up the top 10. Phil Dickens, Joe Woodward, Alan Brooks, Ty Butler and Chloe Jones still battling through up to 15th place now as we move to the final lap, and Ryan Tyers with that 12-second gap at the front. 17 having trouble there. That's Ross Richards, who was in 17th. And if I remember rightly, had trouble in the first race as well, so not his day. But Ryan Tyers, meanwhile, down the Simpson Straight for the final time. Round the final corner he goes, and Ryan Tyers, after a tough race, has fought through and takes the checkered flag. Great win for Ryan Tyers, fastest lap incidentally on the final lap there, 46.866. Who's it going to be in second place though? Here they come, and Hedger with another wheelie goes through, 14.4 seconds adrift in second place, chased to the line by Chase Collymore, Dougie Craven and Jake Whittaker 5th place, Daniel Pearson, Matthew Davis, Charlie Hopkins, Ryan Clark, Jamie Callan running up the top 10. There goes Phil Dickens in 11th place from Joe Woodward. Alan Brooks, Ty Butler, Carl Sanders and Chloe Jones all a little bit further behind. So a great race there in the Group A for the Pit Bike Spares Mini Bike 160. Thrilling action throughout the field. And we move on to our next race in just a few moments, in association, of course, with Ugly & Co. It's the Mini GP and Junior Supermoto riders out on the track in just a few moments. So after that thrilling conclusion to the Mini Bike 160 Group B, we move on to the Group A riders, and we'll have a look how they line up for the final. Ryan Tyers will lead them away from Luke Hedger in second, Chase Collymore third, Dougie Craven in fourth, Jake Whittaker in fifth position, Daniel Pearson in sixth place. Seventh is Matthew Davis from Charlie Hopkins, Ryan Clark and Jamie Callan rounding out the top 10. Joe Woodward 11th place from Alan Brooks in 12th. Ty Butler in 13th position, Andrew Jones 14th from Phil Dickens and Carl Sanders, Dean Willowson 17th. Further back we have Oliver Linsdell, Mark Goff, Ross Richards, Nathan Gardner, Michael Ford and Nick Shaw a bit further down the field, and Simon Wadsworth rounding out the field. So they make their way down to the line. The second of our 160 races, the Group A final about to get underway. And of course we get into the age now with some of these youth riders where this class is 14 years and above. So as we saw, Chloe Jones of course making her way through the youth ranks, now making her way through to race against some of the adult riders. These riders, just to go through some of the rulings here, of course, these are Supermoto or Mini GP style machines, maximum seat height of 84 centimetres. And the engines, of course, the output maximum of 16.3 brake horsepower. Very stringent limits on the performance of the bikes to allow for fairly open racing as the way they go. One rider left on the line. Just try and pick that rider up, but appears to be okay. The way they go into Senna for the first time. Might have been Charlie Hopkins that had trouble on the start there, but they all get away eventually, and Ryan Tyers gets the early jump on the field as they make their way through 180 for the first time. Through into the Warren, that off-cambered left-hand corner is indeed Ryan Tyers that leads. It was Dougie Craven in second, but Chase Collymore having a go into the S's for the first time. The rest of the field make their way through. So Ryan Tyers gets away well. The rest of the pack making their way through the S's. Down they go towards the paddock bend. We saw the aerial shot before. That dogleg on the final corner is quite a tricky part of the track. It is possible to get a jump down the finish line straight to make a move. You're looking to make a pass on the finish line straight. Pearson then up to second. Craven trying to fight back in third. Look out for the number 110 though, Matthew Davis in there as well. Pearson in second, shuts the door though. So Ryan Tyers, as second place starts to turn into a battle. He's trying to break away now on this first flying lap. Oh, and look at Craven round the outside. I don't think Pearson was expecting that one. So cheeky little move there from Dougie Craven up to second place. Pearson drops to third. And trying to look down the inside of Davis is the 31 of Chase Collymore. So this battle of a second still finely poised as Tyers breaks away at the front. Dougie Craven up to second and trying to make a break on this pack now for third. Daniel Pearson holds on to third. He has got Davis and Collymore, Whittaker in there as well, and the 1-2-1 right behind as well. Into that right-hander, nice exit out of the corner there though from Davis, and he will make the move into third as they make their way into the Warren along the straight run. Chase Collymore gets through as well. So Pearson drops a couple of places, goes down to fifth position. Chase Collymore trying to put the pressure. Oh, and look at that move on the outside of the S's there from Whittaker, trying to get through past Pearson. Doesn't make the move though. Craven trying to break away in second. Davis third, Collymore fourth. Pearson in fifth, over the line they go, and Chase Collymore starts to put the pressure on the third place 110, Matthew Davis, who holds the inside line into Senna. Collymore just trying to get that exit speed. This technical part of the track, the 180, it slows down, then back on the power, off towards the Warren. Off-cambered left-hander, the faster part of the track as Craven starts to break away. As a quick glance over the shoulder, he can see himself pulling away. The rest of the top 10 make their way through. Just behind that little battle there is Joe Woodward. I think Ty Butler hanging on in there as well, just a couple of seconds behind. Ryan Tyers, of course, cleared away from this battle for second and third place. He leads by 4.9 seconds, just crossed the line, I think. Yeah, he's just gone through past the commentary point down here. Dougie Craven second. Here we see, though, the battle for what we know, 4th position. Pearson with Whittaker round the outside. Is he going to make that move? No. Pearson guards the apex on the inside into Senna. And Woodward closing in there, the number 46, but Jake Whittaker has to hold on as the 24 of Ryan Clark starts to put the pressure on now as they make their way out of 180. There is the 74 of Dougie Craven as Collymore has a peek down the inside of Matthew Davis. We're just going to watch these two appear to be closing up on Craven in second. Well, it was just under 1 second last time around as Collymore has a look down the Simpson Straight. Davis shuts the door. They pull away from Pearson in 5th. And yes, these two are definitely closing up on the 2nd place man, Dougie Craven, 74. He knows they're there. He guards the apex on the inside line. Davis right on the rear wheel in 3rd. Collymore there in 4th. So 2nd through to 4th, turning into a battle here. Ryan Tyres clear. Oh, but a mistake from something happened there to Craven. Now, I don't know what happened there. He ran wide, whether he stalled the engine or what. He lost a lot of momentum. And all of a sudden, Davis through to 2nd place, but having to fight now from Chase Collymore as Dougie Craven still there in 4th place. One rider hitting trouble there as the yellow flags go out. Goes a lap down. Ryan Tyres running a really strong pace at the front, leads by 7.5 seconds, but all the action in 2nd place. We just saw that rider in trouble, possibly, well, it's one of Mark Goff or Oliver Linsdale, I think, that's in trouble at the S's. Rider okay, maybe it's some sort of mechanical fault, maybe. Matthew Davis, 9.5 seconds adrift in 2nd place. There he is, the 110, going through the Warren. Chase Collymore really put him under pressure before, but it looks like Davis has put a good lap in here, trying to pull away from Collymore, who gets the momentum back along the straight. Dougie Craven, who was in 2nd, still there in 4th, just hanging in there. Then still that battle a bit further back. 77, that is the machine of Daniel Pearson. Trying to hold off the 24. Oh, it's getting close there. Ryan Clark having a real look into the final corner. Joe Woodward there in 8th place on the 46. There they go over the line with 5 laps to go. Pit bike parts. 160 Group A action here. This is their final 12 laps, so we're just over halfway through. Just to talk you through the rest of the day as we see the 24 having a look there. Ryan Clark still got a few more races to go. The Ovali 160 Cups coming up next. Then we have the the Motul Oil Vets, OMG Racing Mini GPs to follow from that, and then the Saimoto Mini Bike 140s, Group B and Group A. So we still have 5 more races to go after this. Plenty of action here on track with Alpha Live at round number 2 of the Rich Energy British Mini Bikes here at Redlodge, focusing on this battle for 6th place in the Mini Bike 160 final. Daniel Pearson fending off Ryan Clark and Joe Woodward, and Pearson now picking up the pace, 49.7, his fastest lap of the race. Shuts the door on Clark. Ryan Tyres is your race leader, 47 seconds, fastest lap of the race last time round. 11.8 seconds the gap with Davis and Collymore, still having their close battle for 2nd place with Dougie Craven in there too. Jake Whittaker's clear of this battle now, which is 6th place. 24, Ryan Clark having a look down the inside of Pearson, who guards that inside line into the S. It's the top of the circuit now. This corner that just tightens in on itself, gets really technical. Davis is trying to find a way through here, or Clark should say, trying to find a way through to 6th place. Around the final corner they go. We just looked at Chase Collymore briefly, putting the pressure back on Davison's Davis. He's made the move stick here, so Chase Collymore, he's been pressuring Davis for several laps now and has finally got through to 2nd place. There is the 67 of Mark Goff. He's still in the race. That rider who's dropped out of contention must have been Oliver Linsdale. And Goff, it appears, about to be lapped by Chase Collymore, who's clear now in 2nd place and really starting to pull away from Matthew Davis. Yeah, he's there in 3rd. Collymore, clear track in front, 12.7 seconds the gap though between 1st and 2nd place. Dougie Craven still hanging in there in 4th. 2 laps to go. Ryan Tyres your leader by 14.4 seconds. barring disaster there, Ryan Tyers, the race is his at the moment. He's just got to keep focusing on the track ahead, staying out of trouble. He can afford to take his time with 14.4 seconds. Collymore then still second. There's that battle of a sixth place though. Pearson, Clark and Woodward all very close as they make their way through 180. So 1.5 laps to go. Ryan Tyers has just crossed the line to take the one lap board. Looking at this battle now into the S's though. Daniel Pearson, sixth place, Ryan Clark and Joe Woodward all very close. The race still far from over for these riders as we see the 24. These riders have got one more lap to go at the end of this one. Down they come into the final corner. Clark having a look on the inside of the 77 of Pearson. Meanwhile, Tyers making his way around the final few corners down towards the line. Waiting now for the checkered flag, and Ryan Tyers, 55, should be coming through any moment now to take the checkered flag. Round through the final corner they go. The mid-pack riders making their way through for the final time. Ty Butler there as well, Charlie Hopkins, but Ryan Tyers goes through and takes the checkered flag. Really pulling away from Chase Collymore at the finish, who's battled through to second place. He'll be making his way down to the final corner now. We should be seeing him in shot any moment now, and there he goes. He takes the checkered flag to finish in second position, just ahead of Matthew Davis, Dougie Craven. Back to the battle of the sixth place, so Jake Whittaker goes through in fifth place. Is Pearson going to hold on for six? Here they come. Oh, it's close to the line, but Pearson finishes just ahead of Ryan Clark and Joe Woodward in eighth position. Charlie Hopkins through to ninth on the final lap, just ahead of Carl Sanders. So plenty of action throughout the top 10 for the mini bike 160 Group A. We move back through to the Ovali machines any moment now. It's the Ovali 160 Cup, their final coming up in just a few moments. They're in the waiting zone now and back on track in just a few moments.